Hey everyone, thanks for checking in back over here at the channel. Well, I got with me my Zulus LRF mounted up on my Christensen Arms 6.5 Creedmoor again. Now, if you watch some of my prior content, you're going to see I have this combo out doing some shooting at 100 and 200 yards and ran into a bit of a situation. The ballistic application on my Arken Zulus was not pairing up well with my prior ballistic information. So what I'm going to try to accomplish today is two things. I want to tighten up the zero that I have on this rifle, and I also want to see if I can sort through some of the problems, some of the issues, and come to some solutions for the ballistic information that I'm dealing with. All right, guys, we're going to start things off sending a few rounds down at the 100-yard line. Now, again, this combination is prior zeroed, so just hoping to tighten things up a little bit today. And no environmental factor is going to be impacting the shots, so let's send them. All right, let's take a peek at these first three shots and tightening up this zeroing. Well, all right, here we go. So here are our three shots. And it says we're at a 0.9 MOA. Now this isn't too bad considering I am pointing at some green lasers down there and it's a little bit difficult to get a nice, perfect precision sight picture. But overall, it looks like our windage is good. We're gonna make an elevation adjustment, do the one shot zero, see if we can move this up right to here. All right, with the one shot zeroing adjustments all made, I'm gonna send a couple more rounds downrange and see if the adjustments are what we needed. All right, let's check out that group. Well, there we go. We've got two groups. I've got an initial group down here, an adjustment with the one shot zero, though I did shoot 3 times to confirm that, moving the group up to right there. Not a bad group, just for getting out here and tightening up that zero. So I'm gonna take this thing over to 200 yards and see where the drop is from this 100 and see if that confirms out with my prior ballistic information that I have. All right, the ballistic situation that I keep talking about had to do with me shooting this 6.5 Creedmoor at 100 yards outside and then taking it on over to shooting 200 yard steel. Now I was getting about an 8-inch drop that I was not expecting. Now I normally use the Hornady ballistic app and it works real well for me. I've got my chrono information in there. I've got the ballistic coefficient of the bullet. I've got everything in there, the environmental factors. It just has worked well for me. But I was getting that 8-inch drop that day and causing me a little bit of problems shooting at 200 and even worse out to 300 yards. Now, before I go to making changes in the Zulus ballistic software and kind of tweaking the feet per second or the ballistic coefficient, I wanted to confirm that the 0 was accurate. It wasn't something with my ammunition. It wasn't something that I was doing that day. So today, that's where part of this extra time spent zeroing at the 100-yard line was about. Now, thankfully, I kind of came across something, and that 0 was shooting lower than I expected. I had to move that shot up with the 1-shot 0. Now, I'm hoping with getting some time behind the gun here at the 200, that will have resolved the issue. So I'm going to plug in the same information using the same Hornady application and hope to get these shots real close to on center, on target at 200. So let's get behind the gun and do some shooting. Well, change of plans. It looks like I'm going to have to head outside to the 200 and 300 yard range after all. While looking through the rifle at the 200 yard range indoors here, I'm targeting a set of green laser lines. And at 200 yards, I'm unable to see those with the Zulus. I've tried this thing in day mode. I've tried it in night mode. I've had it in day mode and adjusted the brightness, but I'm still not able to see those lines really, really well through this digital optic. So I'm gonna move outside, I'm gonna deal with the rain a little bit and get this 200 and 300 yard ballistic information and see if we're on point. Alright, so we got this nice big target out here at 200 yards, and let's see where our drop is going to be. Alright guys, let's try this again. I'm all set up out at the 200 yard line, so let's send some down there and see where we're at. All right, let's go check out that group. All right, guys, this is not good. I have got about 2 foot by 2.5 foot square target out here, and we have no impacts on the target. So something's going on. Let's go send a couple more and see if we can get to the bottom of it. Well, I really don't know what to make of not even hitting that 2 foot piece of cardboard down there. I really expected those shots to be about 3 to 4 inches below that orange circle. So I'm going to send a couple more down there and see if there's something going on. Now with that first shot, I'm hearing a loud thump. Almost sounds like the shots are hitting the railroad tie at the bottom of the target. Now I do have some swinging steel targets down there that look like they're about 10-inch circles. I'm going to send one at one of those steels and see if I can see where it hits versus shooting at my target still. And that shot that I took towards that 10-inch steel was nowhere near it. Not sure what's going on with this thing right now. I'm going to send one more shot down towards the target at the top edge of the cardboard and see if I can see if the shots are actually hitting it below and find where the impact is at. All right, let's head down there, find out what's going on, and see if this thing is shooting very low, high, or wherever it's hitting. All right, guys, I'm back down here with the target. Not a single impact in this cardboard here. And you can see I have got a big piece of cardboard down here without a single hit in it. So part one, problems with the Zulus. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Well, all right, guys, I'm not sure what to make of this. After having some time behind the gun at the 100-yard line and successfully tightening up the 0, I was expecting much better things over here at the 200. And we have a flat-out failure to retain or hold 0 at 200 with our Arken Optics Zulus LRF mounted up on this 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, I have double-checked that all the torque specs of the optic and the rail and everything are in spec and the way they should be. So there's not really a gross oversight of something like that. I've even turned the optic on and off and done some shooting, and we're still far from R0. So I'm going to check and see if there's an update or something of that sort. But at this point, we do have a problem. We do have a failure with the Arken Optics Zulus LRF to hold 0 with the center fire. So I'm going to see if we can work through this. We'll call this part one of sorting through some issues and sorting through some problems, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, I'm back here with the Zulus at the house and had a bit of time to kind of go through things, problem solve, and troubleshoot to see what was going on with why I could not retain my 0 at the 200 yard. Well, fortunately, part two to that problem solving is not needed. I got to the bottom of this. If you recall, when I did my initial shooting at 100 yards, I had a simple X reticle in the rifle. And in moving on over to the 200-yard line, I switched things up to a mil reticle. Well, when you get your Zulus and you start playing around with the reticle choices, be it the color or the style of the reticle, you also have different profiles in that menu. It is very easy to slide over to a different profile. And in my case, a profile that has no zeroing or a profile that I have not done anything with. Now, those profiles are saved with a letter indicator, and as you move over, you're changing your color and your reticle style and everything else. But it's quite simple when you're moving through that menu to bump and move that letter indicator. And when you're looking through your Zulus and you're looking through the screen, the profile that you have chosen is not indicated and is not seen anywhere while you're shooting. So simple, fair enough, that was operator error. So I'm hoping to get this thing back out there and finish up that ballistic test at 200 yards. But right now, we just did some problem solving, got a good 100-yard 0 that I am confident with. We're gonna get this profile, move it back over to the correct one, and do some shooting real soon at 200 and 300 and see if I've got things sorted. So hey, thanks for checking back in, and now keep on shooting.